All right, what up, guys? We have Ed, Austin, and Jameson. All right, so here's what's really cool. Last few days, we created a website scraper. We created a website crawler. Then we scraped an entire directory for 2,000 leads. Okay, but what now? Right? Like a few minutes ago, Ed asked me the question. He goes, that's cool. We're sitting on the data. What do we do now? He said one thing he used to do is they used to turn that into his data into directories. And then after that, he turned it into some type of outreach, right? Like the reality is we have this data, but now we actually have to reach out to them and message them. At the very bare minimum, we have to send them an email, right? Click them on, reach them on Facebook, something. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to show you guys how to do exactly what Ed used to do. All right, so in this call, I'm going to show you guys how to basically turn that data into your own software, like your own directory, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a database called Xano, all right? So we're gonna head over to Xano, and let me show you guys the end product because this is what I did last night. You guys remember our little doctor directory that we have? Well, if I go into my AI team, I have this website called DocFind, right? And it's functional medicine doctor directory. Right. And if you guys look, here is our data, and you can see I have names, basically where they're located, if they offer telemedicine, phone numbers, emails, websites, all of this information, social links, if they do have social links, everything. I also made it where I could search. I could type in Jeff, and I pull up all the Jeffs. And then if we click on this website, well, guess what? We could go over to this website. Absolutely looks amazing. I could reach out to this person for marketing, anything like this, okay? So this is the outreach part. So here's what's really cool. Now we have this CSV that we downloaded and scraped our data. Well, if we go over to Xano, right? Xano is basically a free, you could start building for free, okay? For $99, you get like your database for production, and you get up to 3 databases a month, right? So it's absolutely fantastic. This is what's called a no-code database, okay? Well, here's what's really cool. This is why I wanted to use Xano. All right, if I come in here and on the left-hand side, you see where it says database? I could say add table, and I could import data. And I could import data by a CSV file. So if I come in here into the CSV file, I could drop my entire database that we scraped into this thing. The entire thing matches up. It pulls in my name, my city, state, offers telemedicine, everything from this CSV, and it lines it up in our data. This is 2,136 records that we pulled and scraped from that site. And now we put it into a usable database. So now we can make updates, we can make changes, we could display the database, and I could upload this whole entire database, okay? This is where our data is. This is what data looks like behind the scenes. It's a giant Excel spreadsheet, okay? Well, now I have all of this data inside here. All right, well, once we have all this data, well, guess what? I could go to something called an API, and I could click add API group, and I could type in docs, and I could literally, right, I'm gonna bring this down. I could say docs, and I could say public, and I could hit save. So now we just uploaded to our data, and now I could say add API endpoint. And if you look at this, this says create, read, update, and delete. This is our CRUD. Okay, so this is our ability to edit the update, read it, update. Like this is what most apps are built on, is CRUD. So I could say CRUD, and I could come down here into our doc or our functional medicine. So this connects to the table, right? So this literally, this has our information right here. So now I could say get. All right, so these are all our possible like API requests that we could do with our own data. So this literally turns our own data. This is a post. So if we want to add something, this is an edit. So if we want to edit one of these records, this is a delete. So if we want to delete one of these records. However, I want to get records, okay? Because this one gets all of the records, and now I could hit save. So if you look at this, this basically says there's no input needed, and it returns basically queries all records from functional medicine doctors. So if I hit run and debug, I could hit run. Well, check this out. This just ran, and it gave us all of our records in a nice JSON record, like based on all of our data inside this. So now if you look at this, this is all of our data. Well, now we could hit save and I could go back and check out this. We have something called our Swagger documentation. Okay. We could click on our Swagger documentation. And from here, we actually have a call now. We created just now our own API request. And you could see this is what it's going to return. If I hit execute, it's going to load. This thing is loading quite a bit of data, right? So it takes a couple seconds and it's going to return all of our data. Well, let me show you guys how to connect to this real fast, right? So check out this. You see how it just returned all of our data right here? Whatever data you guys scrape, whatever directory you guys scrape, you can now turn this into your own database and you could make it where you could edit and update and make edits to this. Well, why are we going to want to do this? One is you can make your own directories. So you could say, hey, this is a lead magnet. Do I have any functional medicine doctors that want to get signed up on my directory? And now you already have 2,000 people on your directory to start. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this curl. You see how it says curl right here? We're going to copy this and I'm going to go into create new AI snippet. I'm going to say, create me a directory that calls this API endpoint. And I'm going to paste it. Bam. All right. And then I'm going to go to the Swagger and you see this giant response. This is a huge response. I do not want to copy this entire response. What you want to copy is you want to scroll down and you want to go down to where it says code, response, success. You want to copy the example response because the example response gives you your structure back to be able to structure your directory. Okay. This is all the data that you want to structure. And now I'm going to paste. Here is the response. And I'm going to paste that. And now it's going to create us our software. All right. This is literally going to create us the very start of the directory. Okay. All I did to create this, you could see I have history. That's all I did at the very beginning. Call this endpoint. Here's all the data. Make this lightning fast and searchable. And then boom. Okay. That's all we did. All right. I'm going to show you guys this live too. All right. So this is coding now with AI. We're turning the directory. We're turning our data into a directory. Awesome. Now we have a directory, but what now? We're going to talk about that because we also want to be able to turn this into an outreach program, right? Okay. So look, functional medicine doctor directory, boom. Instantly, I just connected to this entire directory instantly. Okay. Like the whole entire thing. Okay. So now watch this. You see how we have this email right here? What if we want to make this where we actually have an outreach program? All right. So I want to make it where I want to outreach to this. All right. Like I don't want to just make it where it's thing, but if I click on this, right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys can see my entire screen because I'm going to use my email platform. Right. So if you guys go to this directory and if I click on this, it's going to pop up my email platform. So now I could email this person. Well, I actually have to sit here and type in the subject. Hey, buddy. Hey, want to buy my stuff? All right, my stuff. All right, and then I could send him an email. Okay. Well, this is an outreach. This is just one at a time. Perfect. Okay. Well, you might want to do this where you outreach to these people. Maybe you have a little system where you do 10 a day, 25 a day. However, you see how this takes time just to even type up this little email? Watch this. Can you make it so you draft an email that sells my AI text to code software? Oh, actually, this is functional medicine doctor. So I have a different software. I don't want to sell my AI text to code software. I want to sell them my wife's website templates, right? Sell them my wife's website templates built just for doctors, right? Just for functional medicine doctors, right? I'm not even spelling things right. All right, medicine doctors. And can you highly personalize it? Highly personalize it to their business. Like fat fingered and everything. All right. And then I'm going to hit generate. And now here's what's cool. You see how when I click on the email right now, it just prompts the email. So it has a subject, but I have to put it in. It has the email, but I have to put it in. But I want to actually cold message these people with my product, with my service, with the same message, sending them, hey, David, hey, Thomas. I want to personalize this. Okay. So now we have this. All right. Where'd that email draft go? All right. So that didn't work. Okay. You see how it just kind of popped up? That little thing, it didn't work. I'm going to go back to the history and I'm going to go back to this little thing and I'm going to say, basically, draft the email when I click on the email link to message them. All right. And make sure it goes to my email sender. All right. So now essentially we could turn this into an outreach. All right. We could also drop this into other outreach programs. There's cold reach programs, that software, right? So like if you go to Instantly, right? Instantly.com is one that I'm going to be trying here shortly. This is, Instantly email. Okay. There's something called instantly.ai. This is basically like an email outreach that you could drop your emails and it could reach out to them. Right. So there's an option with that too. Okay. That's one of them that I'm going to be looking at if I'm going to be cold reaching. However, my wife wants to make this personal where she wants to reach out to them, every single person individually. So now if I click on this, all right, here it has this little thing. It has a little draft email, send email. Like this is, I totally had this one working yesterday. It was so awesome. All right. So if I go to this one right here, Doc Finder, let me see exactly what I sent. All right. So in this one, the functional medicine doctor, if I click on this little draft email, you could see it says, it has a little draft thing, right? It created me a little subject line, created me a hello, I'm interested in personal your website templates, all of this stuff. And now we could actually create and see. So when I click on the email, can you create an auto message that sends to sell my website templates? All right. So that's kind of what I did. All right. So you could make it where it sets these messages. So let's try this again. All right. Can you make it where when I click email to sell my templates, creates a message to sell my templates for websites and make sure it's personal to them. All right. So now we could use this as a part of an outreach. Well, here's what we could also do is sometimes you could also make it like inside this doc. Well, I made it where it was searchable for my wife. Well, we could also make it where make this so I can see who I reached out to and messaged already. All right. So we could have it where you start to use this where it's an internal directory tool that you could use for outreach. Or we could make it where we turn this directory into a sales tool. Okay. So it's totally really up to us of where we actually like take these directories. All right. And so with my wife, for her, it was interesting is because I showed her to this directory and she wasn't actually interested in the directory. She was actually interested in purely just reaching out to these people. Okay. So it was one of those things that like over time, right? So this says contacted now. That's awesome. All right. And so like it actually shows that we have contacted and maybe we actually separate by if we contacted them or not. And maybe we could update the directory in the back end where we have it, edit our data in the back. Okay. If we want to make this where we have this as a directory where other people could add to it, we could also add a CRUD input. Right. And so I'll bring this down. We'll connect to functional medicine doctors and I'll have a post. Right. And so this is a post and I'll hit save. And you can see it has all of our inputs. And then it has it where it creates the record. And then it has it where it returns the record. Okay. Well, if I go back, I could go to our Swagger documentation and I could go into here and now we have a post record. So you could see what it says. I could say try out. And you could see this is an entire like record of how to actually execute this and what we need to do and everything like this. All right. So if I copy this, let's just say I copy this entire thing up to this curl command. If I go into here, let me refresh this. And maybe we want to turn it where we do use this for outreach, but we also have it where people could join this directory, right? So can you make a button that opens a clean pop-up that I can list a new doctor on? Okay. Use this API endpoint. And now we could paste. And so that's all we're doing to connect to this documentation is copy the API endpoint here, paste it over into AI. All right. And like the AI will connect it. So you could use Bubble to do this. Xano connects really well to Bubble, right? You just have to set it up the same way. This curl command right here is what you need to be able to connect into Bubble, right? Bubble has the ability to have curl commands. And now all you do is copy this curl command, pop into Bubble, right? Go into your plugins, right? And if I add another thing, I call it Xano. Well, same thing. We could import a call from curl and we could paste it. And now we literally just connected this entire thing to Bubble. You'll switch out all these little variables just like we do. And now you could have, like, if I want this one to be social links, well, I can click on here, social links. And now this will create a variable where we can have it in dynamic for the user to switch out, right? So you can connect this whole thing to Xano also. However, you can see how fast we could connect it with AI. And now we have a whole add doctor button, right? And now I can add doctor, right? I'm going to put Jeff. I've always wanted to be a doctor. Right? Dr. Jeff. All right. Respect my authority. All right. All right. So, not actually a doctor. All right. And then hit submit. All right. So now we have this. And if I hit search, right, let's just see, right? Like, let's ball on this. Let's see if I'm on this doctor directory now. All right. Let's see, Jeff. All right, Jeff. Dr. Jeff Caldwell. Do you guys see that? Oh, that was awesome. Look, Dr. Jeff Caldwell. Let's go. All right. So I'm not actually a doctor. Oh, that's the greatest. All right, cool. So I love this directory already. All right, this is the best. Okay, so we have this. You can see how fast we could add and update this directory. And we could use this. You can see that we can make it where it's customizable, where we could reach out to people, message them however we want with this. Okay, so here's the thing. This could also be where we reach out, and you see how these people have social links? Well, this is a social link, right? I'm going to say make the social links styled with icons and also clickable. Okay. All right. Because styled with icons, proper icons. Okay. And clickable. Nailed it. All right. Because I want to be able to click this. Well, here's what I could do. This right here has the social link for this. Well, this is an Instagram link for this. I'm more active on Facebook, but Instagram you could reach out to also. And I could message this person on Instagram and I could tell them about my directory, but I could also follow them, right? I could follow them. I could message them right here. You could do it, or a VA could do it, whatever it is, right? And like, this could be how you outreach to these people, right? And whatever directory it is, you go through 2000, add more to your directory, right? Add more to the next one. You make it where you have it where it's like, I could see that they were contacted. Okay. So this is how you guys can use it for outreach on all these. So now we go social links, boom. Look at that. So clean. It literally matched our icons with this. So now I have a little social link, bam, sends me to their page, right? I could follow this guy. This guy has a podcast. I could message this guy and I could tell him I could transcribe his podcast and make content, right? The other day we just created that podcast transcriber, right? Literally, like, it was a podcast transcriber to be able to get the podcast, right? An MP3 from our podcast. Well, the next thing that I'm working on is making it where we could actually parse it. And you see how I have my open API key? I want to be able to where I could download podcasts and transcribe the whole thing and recreate content. Well, this guy, I just looked on his social media. This guy has a whole freaking podcast, right? This guy has a whole podcast that I could go through and transcribe his stuff and tell him I could write blogs. I could do 3 or 4 examples before I even follow and message this guy. And I could message him right here. And that might be a service I sell to this guy. Okay, so these are like, hey, I checked out your site. Looks great. Here's a service that I offer. All right, my wife also does websites, and if you're interested. Okay, so this is, and now we have all these social links. We could go through each one of these and make this super easy. So it's easy to go through always, right? Make it so I can always see the social links. All right, so social icons, links, icons. Cool. Just because that's going to be easier. Now I don't have to keep on clicking it. However, I have all this information. I know their address. I know where they're located. I know their education level. I know what type of services they offer on this. And I'm able to click on their website. So imagine if you're calling them and talking to them and offering services. Whatever outreach you have. If you wanted to automate this, just like I showed you guys, 1, you could do the little push the button, or 2, you could drop it into software and programs like Instantly. I just haven't used Instantly personally myself. This is my next goal. However, because you can see that it has open rates and replied and all this stuff, like this is built just for basically like cold outreach. Okay, so I just have to basically convince my wife that this is what we should use next. So other than her just sitting here clicking the messages, because for her, it takes a minute for her to reach out to these people, and it takes a minute. Oh, this is so clean. Let's find Dr. Jeff. All right.
Instantly cost.
Say that again.
How much does Instantly cost?
Yeah, let's check Instantly pricing. So sending in warm up, growth, unlimited email accounts, unlimited warm up, 1,000 contacts uploaded, 5,000 emails monthly. So if you uploaded 1,000 and then had like a five follow-up email type thing, this is what the $30 plan. However, we scraped 2,000 emails. So we would like automatically probably want to divide those contacts in half, right? So watch this, right? You see how it's only 1,000 contacts for that amount of initial investment, $30. I got $30. Who doesn't have $30? So here's what we do. I have a CSV of a lot of leads. I want to split that CSV into a max amount of rows with the same header. Okay. Make it happen, baby. All right. And now I'm going to send. So now I could upload my CSV and I could say, split this into only 10,000 rows. So I only have 10,000 I could test this, and I could build out my 5,000 emails monthly. So 5,000 means 5 follow-up emails. Once you upload the contacts, it's going to message them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's what's different between this software and just messaging them once. That's why I think this is where I'm going to go, and that's how I'm going to like sell it to my wife, because it's her business and not my business reaching out to them. All right. So it's her part. So here's the thing. This is a CSV splitter. Okay. Paste your CSV data. I want to, let's see, make it so I can upload a CSV and you split. Okay. All right. And generate. So this will make it where it's more manageable. Now I could say, hey, look, it's a $30 trial. We upload 1,000. We message them 5,000 times. It sounds like a lot, but this thing does all the dripping. This thing does the messaging. This thing does the warm up. That's the main thing, is you don't want to, the warm up. That's kind of why I said you only want to message them like 25 a day, because there is a warm up. However, they kind of already built that in. Whatever that warm up is, they already built that into that. Nailed it. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be testing. I'm going to be testing this like most likely today, because I have a class tomorrow. All right. But on the hyper growth, 25,000 contacts uploaded, challenge accepted. You know what I mean? Like literally, I only have 2,000. What happens if I can get 25,000 contacts? And this actually starts working phenomenally. This is my goal, because not only could I scrape for myself, but I could scrape data for other people. Like this is going to be sweet, right? So now I have, let's go to the CSV splitter, upload CSV. I have our functional medicine doctors. Boom, I'm going to say 1,000, split CSV, downloaded it into 3 CSVs, and now I have a CSV for each one. All right, and now I could upload it to Instantly, and let's see, if this is 1,000, let me check. All of our headers are still the same, okay? All of our headers are still the same, and we only have 1,000 contacts, which is much more manageable for our first send, okay? So that can be how we start with this. All right. Very, very simple with this to outreach to these people. Okay. Totally depends. And you might even outreach to them and say, hey, I added your directory, right? Imagine if you say, make a claim, right? Make it so doctors can claim their listing, and for a $25 fee. And now you could sell these listings, and they could update it, and they could add more to it. And maybe there's a premium that includes a blue check mark as verified. And they are at the top. All right. So you might even make it where, hey, it's like, these people are verified, and therefore they're at the top. They paid you a $25 fee. And maybe there's a monthly service that you offer. Well, here's the really cool thing. You guys can connect into Stripe and make payments, or you guys connect into, like, I think we're going to do a dedicated class just on payments soon, just because there's so many different ways to connect and just getting the dedicated one. However, whatever one you're comfortable with, use it, right? You could literally tell it to embed a payment link inside this, and it will make it, right? And so however you want to update these softwares. So Instantly is where I'm going to be most likely going, because I want to be able to see. Actually, I'm going to be doing this today and warming up my process, and I'll probably just document my process because I do have that class tomorrow. So I literally need to know this before tomorrow. So if anyone wants to, like, okay, have you guys got the leads from this? So, okay, let me do this. Okay, so you guys see how there are all these doctors? Watch this. Make it so you can download the whole directory as a CSV. Okay, I'm going to send you guys this link. All right, I'm going to send you guys this link and remove the add doctor link, because I don't want you guys to actually do that. Add doctors. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna send you guys this whole thing, and it's gonna have a download directory as a CSV. So you guys can just download this whole directory as a CSV because I already scraped it. All right, so now here's what you guys could do. Now, if you guys have any doctor product, I mean, YOLO, right? Message them, send them a message, right? That you could offer to them. The other thing is you could run retargeting ads to the uploaded list. However, I feel like reaching out cold emails, it's one-on-one. That doctor's going to open it because doctors open emails, and they're going to open it and they're going to say, oh, wow, okay, like, what's this? And they're either going to check it, dismiss it, or answer it. You could do that with any business. All right. So now we have Dr. Find, download as CSV. I just downloaded the whole thing. Did it work? It did. All right. It actually only downloaded the first bit. All right. All right. Nonetheless, download the whole directory. I wonder if it only downloaded the ones it sees. I don't know. That's weird. All right. Make sure it's all the data. All right, cool. So we'll see what it goes from there. All right. So you guys can now get this link also, and you guys can download the data, and you guys can use this too once it works. So yeah. So next step for me is turning these things into actual functional directories, so we could use them. I want people to actually be able to use this, update it, be able to search for the doctor, make it really easy to find who they're looking for, contact them, all of those things. But 2 is getting to the actual, like, connecting to these doctors and making it where it actually works, okay? Where we actually reach out, outreach, and message these people about our products. So, any questions on this process? Do you guys feel like you guys know what to do with the scrape data now a little bit better than before? Or is it something that you guys feel comfortable reaching out to people like this? Like, you know where to get the data, and now you feel like you could reach out to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, those rates are fair too. I mean, like you said, I mean, if you can reach out to 25,000 people for $77, and they're your target audience with a custom message, even if it's just a soft warm up to introduce yourself, I mean, that's a no brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I mean, say your average client's $1,000 just for a round number. I mean, one client out of 25,000 is 10 times your money, 15 times your money.
Like for me, I'm at that state of like, could you imagine if this works? And like, it seems like everything, like, it's not like cold, like you kind of said it earlier. This is like scraping websites is like, it's not new. This has been around since like the start of the internet.
Right.
Same with cold emailing. It's not new. When I was in the ammo business, literally, like, the way we used to message people is you have to reach out to ammo shops. You don't just randomly call Walmart. That doesn't make sense. You don't go to Leslie's Pools. You have to talk to, at least start, like, I have to message gun shops, step 1. Like, I have to message the right customer. Otherwise, that's literally step 1. Well, most of the time that was info at this gun shop. And so you got to message them. Hey, who do I talk to about getting my ammo in your guys' store? That's it. That's all it was. That's the first message. And it sounds like right now I'm like deep into the internet marketing space. So I overcomplicate it. However, the simple thing is, hey, we have 1,000 emails on a contact list, which we have right now. That we did that in a second. We have 5,000 emails to make this work and $30 to try it. We could do the whole list for $77. That's awesome. But I personally am going to try the $1,000 first and set up my 5 emails that warm it up. I want to message those 1,000 people 5 times before I message the rest of them more, right? I want to make sure my cold outreach emails are all 5 are set up first. Just the basics. Sometimes doing it once and then doing it 10,000 times, but doing it once first is more important than setting it up. Like, do it once really, really well, because if this is going to go on automation, here's the thing where I'm sensitive about automation. If you automate a train wreck, you know what I mean? It's just a train wreck faster, okay? So set it up where this works, where if I only sent 10 emails, those 10 emails would have got 50 emails. And I hope that, or let's just say 100 for round numbers, those would get 500 emails. I hope just to get 1 sale. That would be legend. If I could do 1,000 and I get 1 sale and it's $1,000 product, what you just said, Ed.
Right.
Oh man.
It's exponential.
Like, this is going to be my new like, this is how we find customers. I'm never going to spend time on Facebook again. That is so dinosaur age. This seems way more systematic and like, it's just numbers. Insert in 1,000, output in X amount of dollars. Insert in
because I mean, the next step too is even just scraping the physical addresses and hitting them all with a postcard, because I'm sure there's a postcard service that operates very similar to this, even though you're closer to 50 cents probably per piece. I mean, if you know you're converting at a rate, I mean, you're still contacting the same people, but at least now they don't just feel like, oh, this person spams my email. You know, they see you in their mailbox and they're like, oh, now you're actually in my home, you know. And
that's cool, man. That is cool. And if you look on this doc site, right, we have email addresses too. I mean, physical addresses also, right? So you could send those physical addresses right to these things. And that's a fantastic idea. I wonder if they have any APIs later on that could connect and send out. Like, let's just say we upload it and then we do connect it to addresses. Like, if they respond by email, send them a postcard. That'd be so cool. Like, that'd be awesome, man. Your brain is fantastic, bro. Like, to be able to go next level like that, that is awesome. I'm absolutely amazed to see look at this. Oh, look, I just said it. Look at this. Okay, hyper growth. Look at this. API webhook integrations. I am 100% sure that they have it when somebody checks those emails. 99% sure when somebody checks one of those emails, it sends a trigger. So you could do exactly what you just said and make it where, hey, like if they open an email, even if they don't reply, it sends them an email. So it's like, hey, and it's like a little postcard with their name on it. Like, dang, that would be so amazing.
Right.
Like, that is next level. Absolutely next level. So I'm definitely impressed to see what we could do with this. I'm going to be trying this today and diving in and going through this. Anybody else that wants to try it, let me know. If for some reason you guys can't get this giant CSV, let me know. And I'll here's the thing. You guys have the website scraper and you guys have the website crawler. Tell me what leads you guys get. If you guys need help getting the leads, let me know. Here's what I did inside website scraper API, .com. What I did is I added the bulk scrape in here. This is something that my AI team coded up. So here's what you guys could do. You guys could go to scrape and check out this functional, remember this functional source? I clicked on this. So this is the actual functional sources of the directory that we crawled. Well, I literally if I paste in this URL into here, this is the crawl. So you could choose how many URLs you get. Well, I could crawl this thing and look how fast this thing is, right? This is website scraper API.com. The same script that runs this is the one that I gave you guys. This took 0.6 seconds to get 2,274 links. If I hit view data, you can see all these links right here. One is you could click here and it will scrape all of them right now at once. Or two, you see how it says, click this and it says download CSV. You can download the CSV and now it actually downloads the URLs of that entire site for everything. So now if you go to bulk scrape, you could actually upload all of your URLs right to here. Okay. And now your URLs are going to be, I'll have to update this. And now your URLs are going to be inside here to be able to actually scrape those URLs independently. So you could use those also. Well, here's why we did this. Once you scrape those URLs, so let's just say I have like my AI team inside this. One is you could scrape this for like data. Add URL, scrape URL. So one, you could scrape here inside here for data. So this will get the message. This will show you how many credits, input URL, all your text, any found emails also. But you could also export this as like a CSV. So let's just say you want to train your AI based off a site. You could export this all of your sites as a CSV, and you could say input URL, text, and now you could export as text. And now you could upload that data to your AI, or you could upload as a CSV, and now you could export the emails and phone numbers, and you could have those as lists. So if you put together a whole bunch of URLs, this is a fantastic way to scrape all those, get all the phone numbers from them, export them right here, and then add them over to Instantly really fast. Okay. So this is kind of me using that code that I built, that I give you guys, using that whole code that I gave, and I'm just putting it into a software so other people could use it. And now I sell this software as a service. Okay. That's it. And you could see just like kind of like this, like for $99, you could get 10,000 scrapes. Well, for $200, you can get 10,000 scrapes and instantly and message them now. Right. So if you combine those two softwares together, well, like that's an option. However, you guys have the code inside here, right? So I'm going to take the list. If you guys didn't know, I finished the code vault today, like this last few days. And the Code Vault has the full code for the website scraper and the API. Because you guys have been showing up live to this class, I'm going to make sure every one of you guys gets that code for free. Which on tomorrow on Friday, a lot of people are going to be watching this replay. However, tomorrow on Friday is the class at 11:30. If you guys 11:30 PST, if you guys want to come to this class, essentially what I'm going to be doing, just like what I've been doing with you guys, I'm showing people the sales process. So if you guys want to see how I sell the inside of this training, it's going to be on the webinar tomorrow. And essentially I'm teaching people how to find a directory, how to scrape the data, how to get the data and put it into a CSV, which is what I just did, and then how to message them on Instantly, which I'm going to message them first. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that today. So tomorrow I could show the basic stats of what it looks like for day one messaging cold contacts for the call. Okay, and so that's kind of the whole process. And then it ultimately sells the code that you guys are getting access to. And then these coaching classes and all that cool stuff. So, which you guys are already in. So you guys are done. Great job.
Nice. I had a question from that I forgot about. Sorry to be late.
No, you're really ready. Shut up.
If you checked out my Facebook, there's actually a big yacht that caught on fire, essentially blew up, and after 2 hours burnt down and sank last night, right outside of my place.
Dang.
So the news is here and everything. But to this, I'm curious. So the scrapes. You get, they're charging for a certain amount of scrapes, but it's not like ChatGPT where you have to pay for a pull, right? It's just, you're just asking a certain price for a certain amount of scrapes. Is there a cost to us for each scrape? Is what I'm getting at.
Not as long as you guys own the code.
Right.
If you guys own the code, that's why I gave you guys the code. Austin already set up the code. He set up the crawler and the scraper following those videos. He wasn't here for the crawler video, right. But he set up both codes and set them up. And now he's able to crawl websites. It was funny because he was crawling myaiteam.com last night and he was showing me website pages that I forgot I had. And he was over there playing original games that I made that I just uploaded that were just me just messing around, you know what I mean? And he's like, dude, I got a score. I'm like, woo! I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So it was really cool. I feel like I'm going to put some hidden websites on my AI team eventually, and that people could crawl and find, and it'll be fun.
Oh, that would be fun if you did a scavenger hunt for crawling sites.
That'd be cool, you know? So, yeah. And so essentially, once you guys own that code and you put it on your own server, Troy, you could scrape millions of pages. Millions, right? Or you can sell it like I'm doing.
No, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to be clear because you set the price at a certain point, but that's just what you felt was best. It's not like GPT where it costs so much for each sort of. I forget the terms right now, but yeah. I think I literally was down there. Sorry to go back to that. I was down there for too long, and I'm like, it smells like gas, and I'm like, I'm getting lightheaded. I got to go back to my place. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got a call. Why I'm missing it? I was bummed.
Yeah.
So I'll have to watch the replay. But
so now you see how I sell this on my own website. Well, this is me selling an API on my own website. Okay, that's me hosting it, me selling it for my own price, me driving my own traffic. Well, here's the other thing. Because I showed you guys how to create this code and use this code. Well, there's websites called rapidapi.com. Okay, let me just go to rapidapi.com. And rapidapi.com is a giant marketplace full of APIs. So look, the very first one, check out this. Real-time LinkedIn scraper. Scrapes LinkedIn data. Okay? This is a whole site of APIs.
That's awesome.
Full of things. This is a trending API. So you can find all this, right? All of these things. These are all Instagram scrapers, Twitter scrapers, Twilio scrapers. Well, guess what? You could also sell APIs on this. So look, if I go into my account, in my hub, well, guess what? Check out this. Website scraper API. Guess who sells their scraper on this thing? Jeff does. And if I go to analytics, well, guess what? I have 396 calls. I have an average daily average, I have 56 calls getting sent to this thing, right? If I go to user analytics, I have 14 active users, and I just uploaded my code, and I've never done anything from this. If I have revenue, look at this. I have $81 I've earned from this so far. And it's just me listing this thing, and I don't even do anything with this.
Right.
Like literally September monthly subscription, $54. Like that's this month. All I did was list the code that I gave you guys on this thing. That's all I did. And now people buy the code, access to the code. Rapid API hosts the code, handles the API calls, handles the credits, handles the subscriptions, handles the customers, handles everything. All I did was list the code that I gave you guys onto this and connected it. I don't even know how to connect to this Rapid API. I use the chat in here, chat, to guide me on setting up the API on here the entire time.
To set up the API for Rapid API?
For rapidapi.com.
Just through my AI team chat.
Yep.
Wow.
And it guided me step by step on how to set this thing up. If you look at this, some of these APIs have hundreds of thousands of monthly users. I have 2 so far.
Right.
And I just started this. Like, how exciting. If you look at the traffic analytics, you can see how often it's used. I could see how many times today, look at today at 10:01, people are using it. Bam, 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 bam. Look at that. I'm not even doing it. It tracks it. It keeps access, all of this stuff. And it's calling the API that I sent you. Swifty Global, Rachel Woods. Look at all this. I don't know who these people are.
So those are the purchases. And when they use it, it's tracked going through the system.
If you see right here, I'm able to set up my, I set up all my stuff. It shows you how to set up your pricing. It walks you through step by step how to set up your API on the site.
Wow.
So you guys can choose how you want to sell this code. You can one, pay me to use it. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Right? I love it. Like, you guys are so nice.
Yeah.
2, you could set up your code yourself. Right? You could go set up the code that I gave you guys. That if you're watching this video, you have the code right below it, right? Inside here, this training. You guys have this the crawl script, which is this one, and you have the scrape script, which is this one. Now you also have the ability to outreach. I just want to say, please, you guys, think about this. Use this for your own companies. But 2, do you know anybody else that would love to reach out to businesses that are in their business and cold message them that are exactly their customer as a service for, and they only have to pay $200 a month plus your costs that you charge $1,000 to set up this forum and then manage it for $500 a month. That's it. That's a service. And you bring in new leads for them by scraping, and you insert it into their outreach, cold outreach every day. And this does it all by themselves. Set up those 5 emails that auto message, because you want to maximize this. If it gives you 5,000 emails, that means it's 5 per 1,000. Maximize that to the full potential. Make sure that every single time you upload 1 contact, they get 5 emails. 1 contact, they get 5 emails. Set it up. Do the thing. Check out this. How do I write the cold emails? Look, come in here. Talk to AI. Hey, I want to cold email these people, these doctors. Can you give me 5 emails to outreach?
You might want to put emails down there. It says cold the doctors.
I want to cold the doctors, cold emails. I want to cold the doctors. Can you give 5 emails to outreach to them? Selling my website templates. Okay. All right. And this gives us 5 emails that gives us a starting place. Inside here, if you look at this, check out this. The other day, I'm using Go High Level right now, guys. The other day, I literally created a split test. I'm not joking. I built my own sales page, and I split test an AI-generated sales page. The freaking AI-generated sales page won by 60%. over my software, my own built freaking page. So like I highly encourage you guys to use this to build your sales pages. And so this wrote our little like emails. So it's like, hey, hope this email finds you well. Call across your functional practice. I'm impressed by your approach to holistic health. As specialist in creating websites for professional healthcare professionals, I developed a range of templates specifically designed for functional medicine practices. These templates are crafted to show your unique approaches to patient care, educate visitors, facilitate easy booking. This is exactly what we do, and this is better written than I would have wrote it. And this is the first email. I'm going to send this to my wife, and she has all 5, right? Like, trust this email file as well, just following in this innovation, like super simple things. Cold email, you don't want to be super like spammy. You don't want to like, you know what I mean? You want to make it super chill. Just simple. People just, they're fast. They want to read it. Is this interesting? They don't want to feel like they've been dropped into an autoresponder. Okay. They want to feel like it was personal and sent out. So we're going to get this to the draft, have my wife approve it, get it instantly set up, and start sending out these emails. All right. That's it. Super simple for this. You can see in here, it has what's called AZ testing. I think this means like A/B testing, where you're testing like this one or this one, which one's better. Okay. Like, so you're able to see which email has a better open rate, subject line, which email has a better subject for clicking and going to the next page, right? So you're able to see all of these things to be able to see like which one is better. If we could turn 1,000 emails, right? There's a math equation, right? Remember we talked about the math equation of the internet? For every 100 emails we send out, how many open? How many click, right? Like those are our metrics that we're going to look, because how many click and then how many people buy is going to be our little like math equation that we're actually tracking to see if these actually emails work and they're profitable and people actually buy. And how many do we need? How many leads do I need of my target customers? And how many emails do I need to send out to see how many sales I generated? Well, that's a math equation. After that, if they go to my website, I'm going to retarget them retargeting ads because they went to my website. Well, that's already set up. So I already have the follow-up process in place on that part. Well, your emails are also going to follow up with them, right? So make sure you have these set up. So that's kind of my next step. That's what I'm doing today. I might do the hypergrowth one because I guess I mean, dude, like AZ testing, whatever that is, that sounds awesome. It'd be cool to get API link, like integration, like when they clicked on it, I just get a little message on my phone or something, you know? Who knows what we could build with this because we are connecting with this stuff. I mean, this is going to be awesome. So I'm definitely going to have this start setting up, and then we're going to be reviewing these cold outreach stuff because
yeah, I'm going to have to go through all of these, the replays, but essentially tomorrow you're just going to show us all that you've showed us over these past few classes, except kind of all condensed and focused on it step by step, right? Start to finish.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
In the system, right? So essentially it's going to be like a 3-step system that I've been putting together on how to actually do this. You guys see that we added a couple things, like certain directories you might need to parse the data. Well, we actually went through the parsing class, right? Well, certain directories you're going to need to find different ways to get all the pages, right? Because they input it through JavaScript or whatever. So there's just different things that these classes are going to host. The class is basically for everyone saying like, hey, look, like, here's what's possible. This is what we actually did. And these videos that you guys are going through is the actual step-by-step process to do this. And so you guys have the step-by-step process to do this. You guys got what the classes has. You guys have the scripts that you're going to have access to it. If you guys need help setting this up, let me know.
So the class would be more of a intro to what you just taught us all. So it'd be kind of a webinar to invite people to the classes that you will sell separate.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now if you guys look in your guys' course area, okay, inside your guys' course area that says affiliate in there, okay, I added everyone into this affiliate area so you guys can promote this class also. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So if they want just the code, right, that's going to be, I was going to make it $1,000. I just decided what I'm going to do is just the code is going to be $497. But if they want the course in the group coaching also in the sales process, they're going to have that option too, to join these classes at the $47 a month. buy the yearly, also subscribe to my AI team. Like that sales process that is after the webinar, they're going to be able to have an offer to be able to join. So whoever you guys invite to that, they're going to be able to get offered the code, offered these classes, and offered my AI team to put it all together so that they could actually take action on all this stuff that we're teaching.
And this is still the 2-tier 35-15 affiliate split?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And here's what's cool. The other day, I just paid out Joey a couple bucks, right, for the affiliate program, but I also sent Juliet money also. Okay. So, and Juliet didn't do anything. It was just Joey. All right. Like Joey's been creating this new little group called AI for Everybody. And he's been inviting people to this group. Like he's inviting them, like it's part of his little his group is where he gives the free knowledge, and then he invites them on the back end to some of these products that we have in my AI team. And so, it's working for him, and it's pretty cool to see. So,
I have a little tool to share that's super fun. I don't know if you want to continue recording. It doesn't matter either way.
Let's hit it.
And here, I'll put it on the link, and you got to check this out. It's kind of in beta. And I don't think you talked about it in one of your classes. You know, I'm in a couple other classes, and there was a big 3-day AI training. So you see that link?
Yeah.
Click on it. And then what I want you to do is, I'll do it here as well, because you go here, then you go new notebook, click on new notebook.
Yeah.
And then see website, click on website. And then put a URL in there for, like, say, my AI team, or for your what's the other one? Why am I spacing? For your website template builder.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, put one of those, or something you're trying to sell, just the crawler. Put the crawler one in there, whatever you want. Put in one of your company things. And now this might take a second. Let me tell you what it's do. Oh no, now here you go. Hit generate. See deep dive conversation. Hit generate.
Beautiful.
It takes a second, but watch this. Give it. See, it might take a few minutes, and that's why I was going to tell you. But what it's creating is a podcast interview of 2 separate people that talks about the content and information that's on your website. So it's an AI made up podcast, and listen how insane it is, because it's, oh yeah, and it talks about this. Yeah, it really does. And it goes through this, like, just like a morning radio show podcast type of thing about your website. So if you give it a few minutes, we can chat about something else. I don't know. Did you turn off recording?
No, I think this is a fantastic recording. Yeah, I think this is amazing to keep.
Oh yeah, I see it's open. I didn't know if you wanted people to linger for minutes, but we can find something else to talk about. I mean, I might be able to share screen and show you what it did. I'll do that.
Well, here's what I think is awesome about this, Troy. So this is Google Notebook that you sent me. I've never seen this. Google Notebook lm.google.com.
Right.
So if this is made by Google, well, here's the thing: is this is a beautiful example of a software that pulls in a website, gets all the information, and creates content based off of that. And I feel like this right here is a full-blown software. So if you have those software ideas of scraping something, combining it with AI, and then doing something like this with it, this is cool.
Can I share my screen, and I'll show you what I got.
Hit it.
All right, let's see
what you got in. Is it Jameson?
So I'm going to show you, where's it at? Right.
I was going to say, you could take that podcast that's getting created, throw it through your podcast transcriber, and then just add it to your site for more content right away.
Yeah, I'm just going to share my entire screen. It's a hot mess. I didn't know which tabs to show. To avoid infinity mirror, don't share this entire screen or browser window.
We can see it. Looks great.
Whatever. Yep. I'm going to leave it like this for now, because watch this. So let me show you what I pulled from. This is my mom's website, okay? Or our website for my mom's real estate office. Once it goes there. Might be confused because there. So see all this? Keller Williams.
Yeah.
real estate. You're seeing everything here, and then at the bottom, see this because it talks about this. And so this is what I used when I was learning about it. And so now if I go back over to the actual right here, listen to what it talks about. This is 7 minutes of talking about the website.
You might have to share.
Yeah, I have to do the volume up.
Yeah, that tab one thing where you just share your tab. Remember?
Yeah, I do. Where? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Just stop. Yeah, stop sharing and then just share your tab.
That's right. Here, stop sharing, and then
We learned this in music class. Remember?
yeah, I remember. So if I go, I think there it is. So
That's awesome.
so here we go. Now I should be able to do this. Let me show you. Is that it? Nope, not that one.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. We see it. Yep.
Right here. Okay. Now I'm going to hit play. Now tell me if you can't hear it. Otherwise, I'm going to hit play. This is just what it pulled from that real estate website.
Okay, so you found this Keller Williams Client's Choice Realty homepage, and we're going to deep
Dude, that
dive
is
into
so
it.
clean,
Let's
bro.
do it.
You wouldn't
Now
think
listen.
that a real estate website would be very interesting,
Yeah.
but this one is actually pretty cool. I think they're part of the larger Keller Williams Network International.
Mhm.
But this particular site, it's not just like a dry list of properties for sale or whatever. They've got this whole value statement going on, and they've got information about careers. So it's like, what's the
Dude, this is
story
amazing,
here?
Yeah,
bro.
it's giving more than just real estate.
It is. They actually say
You
that.
mean more than just
real
real
estate right there on the homepage. Is that just marketing, or is there something more to it?
Well, it's got to be a little bit of both, right? You know, on the surface, it's marketing for sure.
Yeah.
But it does kind of signal company culture, maybe like they're trying to build relationships and build trust and build community. And the tagline is, "This is Keller Williams Client's Choice Realty serving Colorado Springs and Pikes Peak region." So you know they are going for that personal touch within this global framework.
Yeah, it's like they want to be everyone's like
You just made all that
friendly
shit up.
neighborhood real estate company.
There you
Dude, this is beautiful.
Speaking of friendly, did
Yeah,
you see their
how far
value
along is yours?
statement? Yeah, it's an acronym.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, it's
WI4C2TES.
It's definitely memorable.
How do we?
Yeah,
even-
that's the
like, who
part
needs
that I showed you
vowels?
guys.
Right.
That's true. It stands for
It's so
win-win
impressive.
integrity, customers commitment, and it goes on.
Right.
And they have these little phrases after each value, like do the right thing and ideas before results.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
so
very
telling
earnest.
all the-
It's very
what
earnest.
the
What do you
acronym
think?
stands for.
Imagine you are a potential client seeing this for the first time. Would this be something that would appeal to you, or would it maybe turn you off a little bit?
I think it depends on the person for sure.
Yeah.
Some people would be really drawn to that transparency, and that would signal to them
Crazy.
what they're
Just
all
make
about.
the
And they might
whole
think these are
conversation.
my people.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool.
But for
Two-way
other people, it could be a
conversation.
turnoff.
How far
If you're
along
not
is your-
into that
still working?
earnestness, it could feel a little
Yeah.
inauthentic or like
I
they're
feel like you
trying
can
too
create some
hard.
really cool, just like
You know,
YouTube
I think a big
videos
question
or
is,
captions with that. You know, some content with that. So,
Oh, you can do it with any of the sales pages. I mean, whatever. But yours is still working.
oh yeah, it
It
finished.
doesn't take a few minutes. So.
Yeah, it finished for me. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's finished. Oh yeah. Then here, I'll turn this off and share yours, bro. Let's see what yours.
all right. But
So you
Let's
can
see.
be blown away.
All right. So today we're really going to roll up our sleeves and do some dissecting.
oh,
Not in the gross way.
okay.
We're diving into the world of web design by taking a closer look at the LC Design Company website,
All right. I'm game.
the mission,
That's
to understand how they're presenting themselves online, who they're talking to, and what kind of marketing magic they're using to do it.
Sounds like fun. Let's get dissecting.
So first impressions. When you land on LC Design's site, what's the overall vibe? I'm
Oh,
seeing
look.
pinks, oranges.
Yeah.
It's very bright and energetic. Plus, they hit you right away with that website in a day offer. Bold move.
Yeah, definitely grabs your attention. And
Okay.
speaking of grabbing attention, that
Dude, this is dope. I'm downloading it. I'm sending it to my wife.
Yeah, you can create all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just learned about it yesterday. So I think about all the different ways that you can maybe do conversation. I don't know. Let's see where it goes. I think it's still kind of early beta type of thing. But for holidays, for different products, maybe I'm thinking if you have, maybe they'll have different voices at some point. Maybe you can interview different people who specialize on different things. So you create a host personality, but then like I was telling them at my mom's office, they do a agent, the highlighted agent of the month interview.
Hmm.
But if you could do something like that, it's crazy to say, but just an AI generated, it knows this agent's personality based on its website, its social media, whatever it might be, the GPT, the personality or profile that you give it, and then it's able to maybe just, have a legitimate, accurate interview with somebody that's really not real.
Yeah.
So it's mind blowing.
I definitely think that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a software that essentially took what we've been doing and showed us the possibility of what an end looking user software would look like. Like this essentially scraped a website, pulled back the text, and made conversations based off of it. But you could also, that's text to audio, and that's also chat right there in the window where you could see where you could chat with it. So imagine if your software was just that. And that whole, I believe that software right there is it's made by Google, right? So they're not trying to sell it. It's in experimental mode, but that's a sellable software.
I wonder if
So-
they have API for it, because like think about utilizing that. I set up AI bots for pre-qualification of not just leads but employees, right? So it'll ask people their education experience, what credentials they have, references, resume, cover letter, and it can send and receive documents, right? Well, what if you just made a conversational AI that just has a conversation back and forth and transcribes it and then sends them the email link to send their documents?
I know, it's great. That's where it's going,
Simplifies
right?
it so much.
It does.
Yeah, it's oh, did you try to scrape it? That notebook.lm.google?
I'm going to. You
Try
already
to
know.
Try to scrape it, Jeff. Let's see what's
If Jeff hasn't already beat me to it. Dude, we can guarantee we can figure out
let's see what it pulls.
like we mentioned before in the other groups, like we can figure out the tools that they use and be able to scrape and identify their API endpoints. And I think putting something together like that, though, for really any business is super practical. I mean, even pre-qualification of leads, dude. You send them and it has dialogue back and forth, transcribes the conversation, takes notes, asks them for the proper information, and it's a lot more efficient than trying to have them text back and forth for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready for my class tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. PST. If you guys want to promote, have anyone, the link's in there too. You guys rock.
We have everything we need.
You have everything you need in there. If you
Okay.
guys need anything else, let me know.
right.
Yeah, and if you guys show up to the class and you guys done something cool, like, hey, I scraped the site, I did this thing, like, please let me know. And then when you guys are on the call, I'll have you guys like talk about it. That'd be awesome. That'd be freaking fantastic, And then, because here's the thing is I'm going to be using this as a replay, setting it up. People are going to be watching this. So at least you have the opportunity to say like, hey, I did something. This is what I did. Here's proof that it works. You know what I mean? And so
How many
Yeah.
people are registered for the class now?
so far there's 28 people registered for the live class. Yep. So,
Right.
28 people. So, and I still have a couple people more on Facebook. I just, I'll just message them today. So,
What
yep.
where do you think we're going to take this on Tuesday? Any plans on what you're going to go over yet, or haven't got that far yet?
Yeah, Tuesday. Basically, I should have enough data by Tuesday to show Instantly's data results. So by Tuesday, you got literally I'll show you guys exactly how I used Instantly. Okay. And it's not, I don't like to teach from the position of here's what's possible. I like to teach from here's what I've done. Here's what works so far. Right. So I'm going to show you guys of those 2,000 emails of those things. I'm messing with them. It's happening. So on Tuesday, you guys can see okay, these are the results. This is how he did it. These are the emails that he set up. This is how I set up my warm up. This is how I set up my everything. This is going to be the way that we outreach for my wife's business. Tuesdays for that. And then next, probably on Thursday, it's going to be showing up the retargeting ads, because basically those go hand in hand. For everyone that clicks on my website, I want to make sure that they get a retargeting ad that says, hey, you've been on our website, click here to buy on Facebook. Those almost go hand in hand. Okay. So kind of having those two things in place. Like, I don't want to send all this traffic to my site and then not retarget the ones that are really interested with a basic ad, just the basic $1 a day, because that means those people that went to that page at least get the offer and they have the chance to buy it, you know? So those are the two things. So that's kind of where the class is going to go on Tuesday. So
Awesome.
cool.
I'd see you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you guys for showing up. I will see you guys tomorrow at 11:30. Talk soon.
All right.
Have a good afternoon, man.
You too.
Later.